I want you to imagine this. Your baby sleeping peacefully all night long, and you finally getting those precious hours of uninterrupted rest. No midnight cries, no endless rocking, just sweet, blissful sleep. Sounds like a dream? What if I told you there is a gentle, proven technique to make that dream a reality? It's called dream feeding. And it just might be the game changer you've been waiting for. Stay with me because in this video, I'm going to share what dream feeding is and why it works, a step-by-step guide to doing it successfully, and the most powerful tips to make it work for your baby, especially if you're feeling unsure or tired of those unpredictable wake-ups. But here's the best part. I'll share a simple troubleshooting tip at the end that can make all the difference if dream feeding hasn't worked for you in the past. So let's get started. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deanna, and I'm here to help you navigate parenting with confidence and calm. Today, I'm diving into dream feeding, a parenting hack that helps babies and parents get longer, more peaceful nights of sleep. Sound like magic? I promise it's science and responsiveness at its best. So let's break it down. What is dream feeding? Well, it's a special, gentle technique where you feed your baby while they're still in a drowsy or semi-asleep state, usually between 10 p.m. and midnight. By topping off their tummy before you hit the pillow, you're giving them a chance to sleep longer stretches, meaning fewer wake-ups for both of you. And here's the kicker. This method works because it's proactive, not reactive. You're meeting your baby's needs before they wake up hungry and crying, which makes for a smoother, happier night for everyone. Let's walk through exactly how to dream feed step by step so you can try it tonight. Step 1, timing is everything. Choose a time that works for you, ideally between 10 p.m. and midnight. Catch your baby during their sleep phase to keep things peaceful. Step 2, keep the vibe calm. Dim the lights, keep the room quiet, and avoid unnecessary stimulation. A warm, soothing environment is key here. My pro tip, use red or amber nightlights that won't disrupt your baby's melatonin levels. Step 3, gentle rousing. Pick up your baby gently and support their head and body. If they don't stir naturally, lightly stroke their cheek or lips to trigger their feeding reflex. Step 4, offer the feed. Position the nipple, breast, or bottle near their mouth. Most babies instinctively will latch on, even if they're half asleep. And here's the magic. You don't need to overfeed. It doesn't need to be a whole feeding. Just a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes of breastfeeding is plenty. If you're giving a bottle, maybe an ounce. That's all you need. Step 5, consider burping. Some babies need a light burp afterwards. Others can go right back to sleep. Follow your instincts here. Do what feels best for your baby. If they're completely settled, dead asleep with their arms just hanging by their side, they're probably good. If you feel like they need a little burp, you can do that. You can even do it when you've already laid them back down and you kind of roll them on their side, pat or rub their back a little bit until you can get a little burp, and then roll them back onto their back for sleeping. Which brings us to step number 6, which is your smooth transition, laying your baby back down carefully in their crib or bassinet. The goal is to keep the environment calm so they drift right back to sleep. Try not to talk to them. Just little tiny whispers, if at all. We don't want them to get the idea that it's time to wake up and interact. If your baby still wakes up in the middle of the night, don't worry. I have got a troubleshooting tip that comes up at the end that will solve this. Now, why is dream feeding worth a try? Here's what you stand to gain by giving dream feeding a try. Full tummy can make fewer overnight disruptions for you and your baby. Now, this is not to say that your baby needs solids to fill their tummy. Please do not listen to that advice. Your baby does not need solids for at least 8 to 10 months, okay? And it's not going to help them sleep longer. What helps them is when you do this dream feed, you're resetting their clock. So they're starting a new sleep cycle. That's what we're looking for. This is considered proactive care. By meeting their needs before their hunger sets in, you're creating a smoother, tear-free night. Establishing this routine means adding predictability, and that is everything during those early months. It brings peace to everyone. Even when they're drowsy, a dream feed can be a special, quiet moment of connection. So it's also about that sweet bonding moment that you have with your baby. Now, dream feeding doesn't work perfectly for every baby right away, and that's okay. Here are a few tips to help. Number one, be patient. I feel like I say this in every single video, but it's true. If your baby doesn't feed well at first, give it a few nights. It takes some practice. You're starting something new. Next, you want to avoid overfeeding. If spit up is happening, scale it back a little bit. Watch for the hunger cues. As I said before, just a few minutes is really all it needs. You're resetting their clock and they're going to start a sleep cycle all over. Next, experiment with feeding slightly earlier or slightly later to see what works best. Maybe a 9:30 feeding is better than 11:30. Give it a try. Once your baby starts sleeping longer naturally, you can begin reducing the amount fed during these dream feeds. So think of it as a very long runway, okay? This is like months worth of effort. All right, here is the game-changing tip that I promised. If your baby wakes up shortly after a dream feed, try offering just a tiny feed earlier in the evening as well. Sometimes spacing out smaller feeds can do the trick. Dream feeding is just one tool that can help you and your baby thrive. And it's okay if it doesn't fit your family's rhythm. Remember, parenting is about finding what works for you. And if you're ready to give it a try, start tonight and let me know in the comments how it goes. You've got this, mama. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell for all my expert baby care tips. I'd love to hear about your experience with dream feeding, so drop some questions or thoughts in the comments. And until next time, sweet dreams and happy parenting.